Greetings, this is Sean Episcopo from NoHusbandLeftBehind.com. In this new series, we're talking about our brand new mastermind we're calling Our Table for 2025. Now, this is the third video, and in this one, we want to talk about direction. Now, if you will, if you look back over your life, my friend, maybe there's a person or a handful of people that made a significant impact on you. You still remember things many years or even decades later. Now, there are quite a few in my past that I can remember bits and pieces, but I was thinking earlier today about my grandparents. They've been gone for many, many, many years, but when I was a little boy, still in elementary school, I would get a chance to go over and spend time with them on the weekends, and they would put a lot of time into me. The things that they said, the things that they've done still stick with me today. And I want to be that for you, my friend. I want to be the person that invests in your life and helps you to a point where you will remember years and potentially even decades from now of the different things we went through in 2025 together. And I want you to consider being that for someone else in your family, in your community, wherever you go, to be a blessing and encouragement to others. Now, I want to emphasize that in this mastermind, even though it's hosted by and sponsored by No Husband Left Behind community, that all are welcome. Normally, we do actually connect with men being the knights in the community and women being the damsels in the community. We often really focus heavily on those who are married, but in this mastermind, I really want the diversity of those who are married now or not, whether you've ever been married or not. I think the variety is really going to help bring about solutions to our problems, moving forward together. I think within our community, within the mastermind sessions, as we look to help one another, I think it's nice to have a little bit of different perspective. And I also want to let you know that this mastermind I've designed specifically for family, for friends, for neighbors, for colleagues, for people that know me now and have known me for a number of years. Now, if you haven't known me that long, you're still welcome. Consider being a part of the mastermind, but I've designed it with the intention of those who have known me for a long period of time will be able to stay very strongly connected with me and that we can work together. Remember, this is 100% online, so wherever you live, we'll still be able to connect. I also want to make sure that we've emphasized in the past that this will be a Christian faith-based experience, integrating Bible and prayer. That truthfully is not just for this mastermind, but everything that my wife and I are part of doing. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Now, a Bible verse that came to mind just earlier was Galatians chapter 6, verse 2 says, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." Now, this is what I see being the benefit of being inside of a mastermind that focuses on not just what's in the mind, but also what's in the hearts of each of those that are here. So, as we're willing to share certain aspects of our lives, I want you to consider this idea that we can help carry those burdens together. And I think it's such a beautiful concept. Wouldn't you agree? Now, remember the ending 2024 Strong Workshop replays, as I mentioned in our previous videos, they're still live. These are still available if you want to continually go through them. We focused on the last 6 weeks of 2024, wanting it to be the very best 6 weeks of the year. And I want you to consider that what we taught in these 4 sessions and even in the bonus carry on into 2025. If you want to go back, review the information, and apply what it was that we went through, you can make the first 6 weeks of this year awesome. Or if you want to do it anytime, now or in the future, whatever you want to implement, that take a screenshot if you want to, that this website at the bottom, if you're not already in workshop.nohusbandleftbehind.com, you're only going to have to put in your name and email address so we know where to send you the details so that you can get connected and to go through the video series. And talking about the workshop, we focused on the top three: your personal life, your home life, and your work life. I believe these are still important. Wouldn't you agree? Not just in 2024, but now that we're in 2025 and moving forward, I think these three things are still just as critical now at this point as they were when we went through the series. And as we gather around the table, let's take a little bit of time and share together. That's what the mastermind is for. Now, today I'm going through the different things to expect, and we're getting things set up behind the scenes. And I really want you to be a part of it. But consider when you gather together as family or as friends or neighbors or, the different people you care about, let's gather around and share together at the table, our life experiences. Now, we've already talked in this series. The first video, we talked about program details. The second video last week, we talked about what's in it for me. This video, we're talking about where do we see this thing going. And then we still will have to talk about how to get you in and the limited time offer. We want everybody in this month in January. Now, our goal in the mastermind is to help you get to the next level. So consider you 2.0, or if you've ever had to recreate yourself, maybe it's 3.0 or 4.0, but we want to take you to the next level in whatever area it is that you need or want that level of support and encouragement. We also want you to feel that you can go at your own pace. You're in the driver's seat, my friend. Some may want to go faster than you and reach their destination quicker. Others may want to go slower than you. That's perfectly fine. We want to focus on the journey, getting you there, as well as the destination. Whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, we want to help carry that with you together in this mastermind, working on our biggest challenges and make sure we find solutions for one another. Now, why me, you might be asking? Well, when I worked in employment throughout the years, I've learned a very strong team focused way of doing things, especially working in supply chain, where we can't allow things to back up and hold up the next part of the process. When I worked in a small business, my wife and I did groundskeeping services many years ago. We actually had customers that had different ways of wanting their lawns to be. And so we found ways of customizing the experience so that they could tweak and do things a little different. I want that for you, my friend. No more cookie cutter ways of addressing things. Let's focus on what it is you really want. Also, in the years that I've worked in ministry, I've found that in the local church and other nonprofit groups that rolling up my sleeve and serving is what I enjoy doing the most. I like giving and doing and helping others to achieve their goals, what it is that's most important to you. And then also in community, we worked in a historic railroad many years ago, helping out with the ongoing efforts of preserving the legacy of what had been left, by those who had come before us. And there are so many different ways we could look at this, my friend, but what's the reason for you to be connected here is probably more so on your heart and on your mind, right? I think it needs to be with you in the center of this thing. You are very important to those whom you love, to those who support you, encourage you, want to see the best for you. Maybe you're here because you want to do even better for your family or others who care about you the most. Now, maybe why us together in this mastermind? We've already talked about sharing wisdom and best practices and things like that, but consider this idea also that we can come together and listen to one another. We can pray for one another. We can advise one another on the things which we have learned and gone through as well. And let us never forget that accountability and ongoing support is something that each and every one of us likely are going to want at least at some point in time. The question I have for you is why would we ever want to carry these burdens in life alone? Why not have others that love and care for one another, helping each other, encouraging, inspiring, one another to continually move forward in the journey that God has given each one of us. And I still want you to keep the experts, the people that you have in place that will work with you, through other specifics in your geographic area or in other personal areas that are really between you and that individual, your pastor, a counselor, psychologist, and so on. Maybe even some deep rooted issues. If you're still going through them, continually work on the things with the people that you really benefit from the most. And remember that God must always remain at the center, at the core of everything we do. And you and I should always live with eternity in mind. We should always be looking long term. That's not just what we're doing in 2025, but there's a greater thing ahead, right? And ultimately, I don't want us to ever think in terms of perfection in our lives, but I want you to consider continuous improvement in this mastermind. I want you to get just a little bit better, if you can, each and every single day in the areas that you want improvement. Consider just 1% better today over yesterday, or even just this week over last week. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I want you to let me know. Anything that comes up, either now at this point in time or at any point in the future, just connect with me. Let me know what you're thinking because I want you to be the success that our wonderful Heavenly Father has designed you to be. Now, if you will, as we start to wrap up, let's go ahead and take a quick moment for prayer. Dear God, thanks for taking such excellent care of all of us. Please reveal the direction you prefer us, your people, to travel. We desire to live each day with you guiding every decision. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, we've already covered the first three sessions, including today. We still have not yet talked about how to get you in and the limited time offer. But just keep in mind, my friend, we're working on this behind the scenes right now, and there will be more to come in the very near future. Remember, we want to get you in this month in January, so stay tuned. And over the next week, if you will, continue to do what we've been asking you to do. Prayerfully seek God for guidance on what you should be doing in 2025. Also, consider within yourself what you think and feel. And then lastly, talk with another human being, a person whom you trust, and not just with what they think that you should be doing in 2025, but about your connection with the mastermind, with getting help from those who really want to see you do well in this year. Now, if you will, take a moment and like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, share with a friend. The last thing I want to ask you to do, if you will, take a moment if you've not been to our website recently and visit nohusbandleftbehind.com. This is where you're going to find additional resources and or be able to connect within our community. I want to thank you for your time today, my friend. I wish you the absolute very best over this upcoming week, and God bless.